So after the most absurd, most out of the box, and most unconventional paper of UPSC, we are standing in front of you right now regarding our mains, follow up for the batches. So it is the responsibility on our part to tell those students at least who have lined up, geared up to prepare for the mains in any of the circumstances, right? And since we are having our batches starting from tomorrow onwards, where we are starting with the mark advanced classes from tomorrow, so it is our responsibility to tell at least the components of the program in this particular video, right? So in this program right now we will be giving you the idea about what are the mistakes which you have to avoid when you're preparing for the mains examination, and then we will be presenting in front of you the most what I can say unconventional yet most practical batch for the mains, right? So now in this video, first of all, I will start with the prerequisites or the requirement which you have for the mains preparation. Some of the people who are preparing for the mains make the major mistakes by ignoring first of all the prerequisites for the mains preparation. The first thing is that you should know that what all things you need for the mains. See, what we do is sometimes we are just running behind the content, sometimes we are just running behind the practice, or sometimes we are just running behind almost what I can say the current affairs. Mains is all about balancing these four heads. First head is content, which should not be bulky, which should not be in 1000 pages. Very precisely, you should be having the mains notes or the summaries with you, which you can revise multiple number of times. But the thing is, we should not stop only to the main summaries. We should ensure that the main summaries are updated and they should include the current affairs part as well. Hona chahiye, right? Now, what is the use? The use is you increase your number of revisions, and when you increase the number of revisions, it improves your recall in the mains examination. The very first requisite is content hona chahiye. I have seen students, they are either referring to the what I can say their foundation notes or maybe the standard book, which is not a right right call. Then I have seen students who are reading bulky PDFs, print out nikala hai, yahi se banaya, and they are going through it again and again and again. I mean, what you need is keywords oriented summaries. Okay. First requirement. Second is enrichment, so that you can get an edge. I have seen students, they are writing the general answer, providing the general explanation instead of the arguments or the value addition. That is where many of the good students with the good presentation, they fall short of what I can say marks. So we have to work upon the enrichment so that we can generate the arguments and the value addition when we are writing the pointers. Data, facts, keywords, examples, best practices, case studies, important judgments, committees, unke recommendation. This is what we have to pop in either in the introduction or the body or the conclusion. Second requirement of the mains examination. Third thing is we have to ensure that apart from this, we know exactly how to write a good answer, so that whatever notes you have, whatever enrichment you have, you are able to present it in front of the examiner. You are able to convert your knowledge into marks. So what are the templates of introduction? What are the templates of conclusion? What we have to divide the question into parts, how you have to address the pointers, kitni length honi chahiye, arguments kaise generate karna hai, value addition kaise karna hai, all of it. The answer writing style, which I find missing in various copies. Despite of students doing the preparation, they don't know what is the good answer, how they have to present the knowledge they have, and if they don't have the knowledge, how they have to brainstorm automatically the information. Okay, third thing. Fourth thing is practice. Now this practice may look a very simple word, but see, first thing is what comes at first in your head, maybe a test series. But let me tell you, before even test series, there are two prerequisites which you need in practice. And those two prerequisites are, first of all, PYQs. You have to attempt the PYQs. They do repeat, especially in mains. You see your optional, you see your GS. At least 50%, 60% of the questions repeat themselves, right? If not exactly, then maybe paraphrased. What I'm saying, we have to see the PYQs, we have to write the PYQs, which will build the base for you, thematic base for you. Then as soon as you complete the subject, let's say you have completed social justice, it's your duty to write at least 7 to 8 questions so that you understand that whatever you have done, whether I am able to write the answers on it or not. So revision through practice, and then finally simulation. You have to write the full length test so that you can work upon the answer writing speed. These three different heads are subcomponents of practice, where I find students missing two elements. First is PYQs and second is practice during the syllabus completion, right? They keep on writing the test and sometimes they don't get the head and tail. Why? Because they have not worked on these front, or maybe they have skipped any of these fronts. So this is something first of all on your part to understand that if you are going to enroll or register, or maybe be a part of any of the mains batch, or maybe if you are planning to start your mains preparation, these four are prerequisites. Whether you're going for 26, 27, it doesn't even matter. Okay, right now this is a time where you have to prepare for mains. It doesn't even matter, even if you're the student who is watching this for 2027 or 2026, you have to go for mains, you have to prepare the mains. And these four things will ensure that you are complete with the mains wala touch. Okay, ignoring any of them will again be very costly. Okay, now to take the things further, to let you know that how exactly we will be helping you, I here proudly announce with the same team which has standard almost for 12 hours classes, to ensure we are giving you the best content in the most precise format with the most comprehensive coverage on all topics and subtopics. Since last 2 years, we have been delivering this batch which has given so many ranks. You can see on YouTube, toppers recommending the mains bootcamp batch. You may not have heard about the mains bootcamp batch. I am not denying that fact, but the only idea is this is something which is a hidden gold. If you are able to reach this video, at least ensure you are comparing the batch, components, demo, and even the content with the other batches, if you want to compare, right? Otherwise, let me tell you, this batch is practical. No PDF dumping, no PDF pe gola marna. Everything is organic, everything is practical. Every week we are having some set of classes, every week we are having some sort of PYQs, every week we are having some set of revision practice, right? So most practical batch. To announce the components of this batch, I hereby would request Amritan sir to tell you the components in detail of mains bootcamp plus batch. Please listen very patiently and try to understand that how those components will be helping you to get a clarity or maybe the holistic overview of the mains preparation. Sir.
Hi everybody, I hope you are able to hear me. Now I will outline to you what is the USP of the mains bootcamp plus batch. Sir has discussed with you that a good mains practice batch should have content, it should have enrichment, it should have art of answer writing, and it should have practice. How we make all of this possible is first what I'll tell you, right? So when you are looking at the mains bootcamp plus batch, the very first thing here is that you have classes. How many classes? You have 2 classes in a week. So these are day-long classes. So suppose we start with social justice. We start at 10 AM in the morning and we complete the entire subject from the mains point of view, which has keywords, it has enrichment, it has the PYQ themes embedded in it. This happens on day 1. So we are talking of your day-long classes. If you have loved our prelims bootcamp classes, this takes mains preparation to the next level. And here I am just talking about the content part of it. Many times, because we are talking of GS, you have GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 as well as essay. This mains bootcamp batch covers GS and essay, all of it. And the main part is we deliver all of this to you in a time-bound manner in 2 months. People who are writing mains, it is very important for you that your batch gets done on time. You have ample time for practice, for your revision. You have to also give time for your optional. So this is the practicality of the batch, that we are asking your commitment only for 2 days. For the remaining days, you can devote it for your optional. And I'll also tell you the operational part of it. So the first component is your day-long classes. In the class itself, we make the summaries like we did for prelims. You have all the value additions, the diagrams, the enrichments that should have been there. All of that is there. This is the very first component. The second component, which takes it to another level, is understanding the PYQs. You have heard so many toppers say that mains is so predictable. Of course, we don't say the same for prelims. Prelims is in that sense very unpredictable. But for mains, every year, GS2, 10 themes, 10 questions out of 20. For GS3, many questions, they get repeated. Why don't we bask on it? Why don't we cover that? So first, you have done your day one, you've done the class. In the second day, based on the subject that you have done, now you will be practicing PYQs, and there will be a video which will give you more inputs and insights for that particular PYQ. So previous a question in a very organized manner, and you have handwritten model answers for that. That happens in day two. The commitment in day one is of course longer, whereas in day two, you are required to invest 2 to 3 hours, which means other time you can easily devote for your optional as well. So you've done the content, you have done the PYQs, and now you have to do the real part. How much do I understand? And from the classes, very classes itself, this is the live practice. And our experience has been, if you are consistent in the live practice, if you do not miss your tests. And how does that happen? 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. you have a test, and the test will have 7 questions. Some questions will be from what you have done, PYQs, but there will be some bouncers as well. That is how we train you, right? It is often said, the more you bleed in practice, the less you bleed in war. And this is what we want to emphasize here. So you have given the test. The test is immediately followed by a discussion. And the discussion here, the main idea is to reinforce what data, facts, value addition, diagrams should have been there in your copy. So you give the live practice, and within 24 hours or so, you get your evaluated copy. But the condition is you should have written the test on that day itself. So we are preparing you 1 hour each. Again, in my experience, I've seen students who are writing their tests. Sometimes in 1 hour, they are not able to write more than 2 or 3 questions in the beginning. But if they are consistent, week by week, they will have progress. And by the end of the program, they almost hit 7 questions, which was our target. And if you multiply 7 by 3, of course, right? 20. We have to do 20 questions in 3 hours. Now, to bring all of this further together, because ultimately you have to write a 3-hour test. The moment a particular unit gets done, so let's say you've done social justice, you've done governance, you've done polity, you've done IR, now you are ready for the full tests. And we have often seen students making mistakes. Let's say you are writing mains, you are so much eager, sir, I'll join this test series and that. But it is not organized. You either don't have content, or you've not seen the PYQs, and you're directly jumping into a 2-hour test, a 3-hour test. You're not prepared, you take a lot of time, and you don't know what and where to improve. In these batches, sometimes we get students who have written multiple mains. They're looking for, sir, how do I know where to improve? Which is where the mentorship component also comes in. And one of the main USPs that you are doing the classes with the experts in their field, and they will also give you input. The core faculty members here will give you inputs on the problems that you are facing in, right? So again, if I'm repeating my point, you have content, you have PYQ, you have live practice, and then you have full tests. This is going to help you in a phase-wise manner. Things are not just dumped on your face, right? So you are doing it, and we have 15 full-length tests, very organically designed, and this is followed by these 15 tests end with a simulation, a UPSC-like simulation, which starts with an essay, GS1, GS2 on one day, GS3, GS4. So all of this we do in June, July, August, and we make sure that you are very ready before the mains exam. This is the confidence that you need. So of course, the people who are hoping to write the mains of 2026, this is the program that you can look for. But there are many students who are preparing for the next year, but they also want to compete with the same set of students. They also don't want to waste their time. You can also avail the same batch, right? Now, I'll also just visually also try to explain to you how this would look like. So you have your day one. So day one, the mains classes you have our very famous Vajra classes. These are your mains day-long classes, right? Second is the PYQ practice, which is the Eklavya batch. And the third day is your live practice, right? And the same thing repeats. So day 1, day 2, day 3. So let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Day 4, again, you will have a Vajra class. 5, you will have the PYQs. Day 6, that is Saturday, you will have your live practice. Sunday, now this is where we will be completing a very important section, which is going to be your ethics. And I've also mentioned GS and essay. So ethics, essay in a proper schedule, organized manner is what you will get. Okay. So when you're looking at it, content is covered, the enrichment part of it, right? And in fact, we have also added mark, the art of answer writing, many of you. And tomorrow onwards, you are more than welcome to see the advanced art of answer writing. So why waste our time, right? How can we again improve? Introduction, you've seen so many toppers, but what is the method behind it? A lot of research, analysis, inputs have gone into this program, and we keep on iterating, right? And this is, again, like sir mentioned, this is a program which has given proven results. People who have worked hard, and you have to work hard in a dedicated time because the schedule is there, the discipline, we take care of it. You have to just follow the plan, right? And even the current affairs, all these doubts are, would you cover the current affairs in the subjects? Yes, the current affairs are included. We give you summaries. And we have put out of all of this on YouTube. You can see how what our demo lectures are, what is the handout, how does it look like. A lot of topper testimonials who have been a part of this program. All of this is there in the Mains Bootcamp Plus batch, right? Now, how to know more about it? So if you want to know more details, because we're getting a lot of queries in, the best option for you is to fill the form. You can get a one-on-one call and you try to identify and understand what all components I've explained. If you're able to understand it, well and good, directly go to a website and you can register. However, if you want to speak to even the faculty, you can ask the counselors to connect us, right? And we'll again explain to you any of the doubts that you have had, right? Any pain points in your mains preparation, you are stuck, let's say, in certain marks. All of that will be helping you, okay? That is there. Additionally, Delhi, Bangalore, offline, Jammu, all these 4 centers, you can visit these centers and also can enroll. However, at the Delhi center, all the faculties are here. So for offline mentorship support, etc., you can avail that. However, if you are an online student, we make sure that your experience is just like an offline student. There's a dedicated private Telegram channel, a dedicated handle for you, a proper portal where you can request your mentorship support and other details. That is all we care for. Let's say we ensure in this program. Now, these are the contact numbers. In fact, we'll also drop this down in the YouTube section, the comment here. You can also again directly call. If this does not go through, because sometimes there's a lot of call going on, directly fill the form, you get a call, you ask your doubts to us, right? Now, if you ask me what is the best option for the people who are preparing for Mains 2026 or 2027, my recommendation would be go for the Mains Bootcamp Plus batch, because the kind of value we are giving in, right, at this price is unprecedented, and the kind of efforts we are putting in and we expect from you. However, the individual programs, for example, if you only want the classes, right, so you can do the particular Vajra classes, only the PYQs, Eklavya, right, only the, let's say you want to only write for 1 hour, then that is a boot camp. But if you want to have everything together, you want to leave no stone unturned, right, for that you can go for the Mains Bootcamp Plus batch. So I hope I've made myself clear. If you still have any doubt, to try to connect on the number or the website or by filling the form, okay? And again, the idea is the mains, the best time is to prepare now. Whatever efforts you have, try to put in. Let's try to optimize our efforts. The program is very properly thematically organized so as to optimize your efforts. So again, wishing you all the best from our side. Again, if you have any queries, drop in a YouTube comment as well. We try to reach you out, or like from the things that I've told you, okay? The class would start from tomorrow. We are starting with the advanced answer writing class, which is your mark classes, which is also part of this. Okay. Of course, if you are missing any of the classes, if you join later, you will get the recordings of it. So do not worry on that part. Okay. So that is there. So we'll be covering all of this. And please remember, this is going to be done in time-bound manner. The schedule, all your classes would get by the end of July. That gives you ample time to revise. Okay. So let's make the best use of our mains. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you.